All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Lucent Truth, and we are the Lucent Troop, starting with Carbon X. Say what's up.
What's up?
And right below him is DJ Dave Darko. What's up, DJ Dave? And below us is I'm forgetting your name. Oh, Matundo83. Matundo, what's up? Say hello to everybody.
What's going on? Is the Almighty One back in the place to be?
Oh, here we go.
And you're a little. You might want to rotate your camera a little bit because we can only see your head. Yeah, so there you go. You're good.
Let's see.
Yeah, and I am your gracious host, G-Flux the Great, G-Flux the Grand, G-Flux the Magnificent. And today we're doing another Freeform Friday, and we're going to start
The
off.
one below all.
One below all. We're going to start off with DJ Dave's pick for the week. He wants to talk about video game expansion for the game Fallout 76. So we're going to watch the little minute long Xbox showcase they did for the game. And we'll have DJ Dave kind of explain to us why this is important, why we should be discussing it.
All right. No, don't put it like that. God, no.
Well, I don't play video games.
Put that pressure on me like that. Good. No.
I don't play video games, so I don't know. I mean, I've heard you guys talk about it, so it sounds like an interesting game, but we'll see. All right, so I'm going to play it here.
Appalachia. What a sight! A verdant wonderland of promise plucked from post-atomic blight. The fruit of years of prudent progress and determined reclamation, and 15 million dwellers worth of keen imagination. From the heart of West Virginia to the depths of the pit.
Well, we owe it all to Vault 76.
No matter if you roam alone or spend your time with friends, you'll find a home in Appalachia where the good times never end. There are relics to uncover from a time before the war, along with loads of friendly folks to meet and enemies galore. Our world is always changing. Greater foes are overthrown as we embark on expeditions into thrilling new unknowns. Yes, from Appalachian settlements to Nuka World on tour. You're never short on things to do or places to explore. Think you've seen it all, eh? Well, how about this? Pack your bags for an escape of Epicurean bliss. Put your rad shield on and fix your hair up pretty, because we're headed for the boardwalk of Atlantic City. So there you have it. Now you know. There's a million ways to make the wasteland your waste home. And when you hear adventure calling, when you're looking for some kicks, answer the call of Vault.
Answer the call of Vault.
Answer the call of Vault 76. Play it now with Xbox Game Pass.
Ooh, Xbox.
I will say though that I think like production wise, that was actually really well done. Really well done. But I'm gonna let you kind of discuss it and give us a basic overview of the game and then why this is important.
Okay, so Fallout 76 is an open world game, and you're reawakening in this vault, right? And when you come out the vault, humanity's been underground after this nuclear war for so long that you got all these mutations and radiation fueled humans that's kind of like zombies and trolls and monsters and everything. And you come out with the vault with nothing, and you have to build a camp, right? Of course, things are trying to attack you, and you need to get resources. You got to eat, you got to kill stuff. But as you go through the game and you start leveling up, you start collecting things, you get stronger and stronger and stronger. One difference between Fallout this and Fallout 4 is you stay in your camp, and you can move your camp around, right? Matter of fact, I have 3. A player will get like 3 camps. If you pay, I think you can buy more.
What do you mean? What do you mean by moving them around? What are they, like on wheels or something?
No, you can like pack it up. Like I might go to the other side of the map and explore, and then I got too much stuff I'm carrying. You can only carry a certain weight, or he walks slow, I'm gonna get killed. I can hit the map and bring my camp to where I'm at and set it up there. And then put all my stuff in the box, and now I'm light again, and I can go on fight and things like that. Also, in your camp, you build these machines that help refine resources. Like I might build a table that can help me make garments, not armor. But I'll have a armor thing where I can go in and work on armor or construct it. I have a stove. I can cook food, so I might kill a big, you know, radiated toad, and then I could go to my thing and cook. The interesting thing about Fallout in general and Fallout 76 especially is everything has a purpose and means something. So when you cook the food, when you kill the food, you just eat it. It'll fill your stomach, and that's it, right? If your stomach's fully fed, then you'll have maybe more life or something like that, or you won't drain as fast. But if you cook the food, they have recipes. Oh, now it gives you extra health. Or for the next 2 hours after eating this, your accuracy might be up when you shoot something or something like that. They have all of this food that's in the game. So you're cooking something like, oh, what does this do? Oh, what does this do? This gives me this. This gives me this. Oh, I can make honey tea out of this, and it makes me fly. Not fly. That's bad example. No flying other than jetpacks. But you get the idea. But Fallout 76 was in West Virginia, and it's constricted there, right? So for the last couple years for me, and for everybody else, probably last 4 or 5, we've all been in just West Virginia on the surface and playing underground in some areas. But now they're saying there's a new release where we're all going to be able to go to Atlantic City and fight and destroy and build and do more missions there. So I'm looking forward. There's be new stuff to explore. I hear there's going to be some new monster types and everything. So if you guys never played Fallout, man, play a little bit. Play a little bit. You like 3?
Yeah, 3 is awesome.
Caleb, you play?
Yeah, I played 4.
4, I got started with 4. I had heard Fallout, and a coworker told me you need to play. He saw what kind of games I was playing. He was like, you must play Fallout. And I was like, and I downloaded. But by the time it got to past the initial story of it explained, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a good game. And I saw all the functionality of the game. Get an armor suit, put a battery pack in it, upgrade it, downgrade it. This weapon, billion swords, billion guns, ray guns, bullet guns. You can craft them, you can sell them, you can modify them. You know, it's just so much to do. I burned out on Fallout 76 about a year ago. I heard about the release. I started playing again. I've been playing every weekend for the last 2 weeks now. But that's it. I just wanted to share one of my favorite games is coming out with an upgrade, Atlantic City. And if you guys play, talk about playing, we all need to get on and play inside Atlantic City. And we can play as a team.
Okay. Yeah, I think that would be.
Well,
that
we
would-
all have to be in the same console or PC. But
Yeah, sell that Xbox. Get a PlayStation.
Also,
Grow up.
they don't
Grow up.
They don't do the cross
I have a lot of games
console
on
thing.
Xbox. So
Cross-platform? I don't think so. But I have to ask.
The only cross-platform games are the free games like Fortnite, that kind of stuff. Minecraft. That's the only thing.
Isn't Atlantic City like in New Jersey?
Mm-hmm. It's a gambling place, ain't it?
Yeah.
And isn't Atlantic City a casino or something?
Yes.
I thought so.
Yeah, it's not. It isn't cross-platform. It's
Oh,
not.
if it was cross-platform, they'd have to
But-
make the world's bigger.
But as far as the new,
Yeah.
the
They don't
new-
have any better servers.
as far as the expansion, I mean, why is like I'm looking at the imagery of
Ryan,
it.
readjust yourself.
Yeah, you're muted.
I'm sorry. As far as the imagery is concerned, or not the imagery, but the new expansion is concerned, what's like I'm looking at some of the photos. I'm not seeing anything that's too far different from what I've seen before. So what's the shtick? Like, it's just a new area?
It'll be a new area. Like West Virginia is very mountainous,
Oh, okay.
right? So you might be going in mountains or under mountains, fighting in large radiation fields. And it has a couple of cities. Yeah. Atlantic City might be a more urban, I'm guessing,
Yes.
environment for you to fight. The area is going to probably have some new challenges for you. Hopefully there'll be some new monsters. And if the Fallout people are listening, the alien invasions and stuff you guys are doing are great. If you guys could get some more major monsters to come, Godzilla-sized things, and let us team up on them, I think it would be awesome. I'd love to play, but I've already did my subscription up. I'm waiting for the Atlantic City thing to come so I can go in there.
Okay. All right. Anybody else got any other questions?
No.
No more questions? All right, we're gonna move on. Okay, guys, we're gonna move on to my topic. I wanted to talk about a movie that I recently watched. I don't know if you guys have watched it yet, but if you haven't, we're gonna watch the trailer. But it's called Brooklyn 45, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Brooklyn 45. It's actually a Shudder. Shudder is a like a horror movie channel, right? I don't have it, so I don't. I'm assuming that's what it is. Shudder is like a movie channel, right? Isn't that what Shudder is?
Never heard of it.
Shudder, Shudder movies. Is it a movie studio or is it a channel? I think it's a. You can go there and you can watch horror movies, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can join. It's sort of like a Netflix for horror movies. It looks like it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and this is actually the movie right here, Brooklyn 45. But I think I watched mine on Amazon. But anyway, we're gonna watch the trailer, and I'll talk a little bit about it, and you guys tell me what you think. But here's the trailer.
God damn, it's good to see you guys.
DeFranco, get your ass out here.
Major? Major.
You're all here tonight. That's very special. It's been 6 weeks since Susie checked out.
Sweetheart, we all miss Susie.
Then please, will you humor me? With a seance, the spirits speak directly through us. If there are any spirits here, make yourselves known.
What the hell is that?
Don't you dare get up.
What?
We have to end the seance before we break the circle.
Look!
Spirits, force your way into
Ooh, I
our
almost
world
want to stop the trailer and go
with
watch
all
it
your
now.
might. Come in. I broke the circle. That means the door isn't closed yet.
To hell with you then.
Oh, no! You're not gonna drag us into the dark with you.
This madness is over. This war is over!
Says who?
But I watched it the other night, and I don't know how you describe these types of films. I call them limited location films, where the movie takes place mostly in just one area. Maybe you go outside of that area, like the outside part, but it's basically just one location. There's a lot of movies like this, because they're cheap to make. They're more character driven than they are like action or more drama driven. And after watching it, it wasn't scary to me, but I liked the premise, and I thought they did a good job overall, sort of orchestrating or putting the movie together. All the people all the actors in it did a really good job. They were all believable. But the basic gist of the movie is, and I'm going to bring up some images here, so as we talk about it, the audience can kind of look at it. 45 images. But the basic premise is some World War II has just ended. I don't even think it's been a year since it's ended. And so a bunch of war buddies kind of get together because one of the I think their commanding officer, they were friendly with him, but during the war he was their commanding officer, the colonel. His wife dies, and I'm not going to say how, because I don't want to like reveal too much of what happens in the movie. But she dies, so that's one of the reasons why they're all there to kind of comfort him. But his wife dies, and I'll say it because I don't think it reveals too much. She basically commits suicide, and the husband, he can't understand why she did it, like why she would have done it. Because she believed that one of her neighbors was a Nazi. She was because one of her neighbors is of German descent, but she had been Americanized. She had been living in America, but she believed she was a Nazi. So she was going crazy with it. Like, no one believed her. Even her husband didn't believe her. So that's one of the reasons why I think she has some mental issues. So that's one of the reasons why she killed herself. But it makes her husband distraught to the point where he's trying to find answers. Like, so he goes back to church and a whole bunch of stuff like that. And the preacher tells him that his wife is damned to hell because she killed herself. So
Oh wow.
yeah, he did. He was like, he got really upset with that. So he invites his friends, and basically he was like, they're all very pragmatic. I mean, they just got out of a war. Some of them have PTSD, and they've seen a lot of like just horrible stuff. You know what I'm saying? The lady in it, she was an interrogator. Like, she tortured people and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So they're black pill type people. Like, they've seen the real dark side of humanity. So they don't believe in. They might humor him, but they don't really believe in all the afterlife stuff. So when he asked to do a séance, at first they don't want to do it. But the only reason why they do is because at one time he was their commanding officer and whatnot. So anyway, they do the séance, and they do some ghostly. You saw in the trailer, some ghostly apparitional type stuff happen or whatnot. And I'll say this because I don't want to reveal too much. After the séance, they get locked in the room, and the colonel won't let them leave. And you find out that the neighbor that his wife thought was a Nazi. He has her locked up in a closet, like gagged, and she gets out. And that's all I'm going to say. And it's good because it's a good. I thought it was a good character. I thought it was a good character-driven movie where the supernatural situation brings out the worst in all of them, and they have to face their sins, their crimes, their fears in that room because they can't leave. And so it's not really a scary movie, but I thought it was a good it was well done for a limited scene type of movie where you just have a group of people who have to interact with each other, and even though there's some supernatural stuff going on, it's ultimately about them facing their darkness. You know what I'm saying? And so there's a lot of parallels with or there's a lot of what's the word xenophobia. Like, brings up questions of xenophobia, brings up questions of PTSD, it brings up questions of following command. Like, when is it moral? Is it always moral to follow your superior's commands? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's pretty good. I think it's worth checking out.
To it.
Yeah, it's not scary. It's not. I wasn't scared by it. It's not like really creepy.
Yeah, it definitely is too scary by that.
Yeah, there's some scenes that are kind of like, a little off-putting, but for the most part, it was just a good character-driven film, I thought. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Brooklyn 45 on Shudder. I think I watched mine on Amazon. But you guys got any questions?
So it's on Amazon.
I think
you can rent it on there.
I think you can rent it on Amazon. Yeah. And if not there, let's see. Can you rent it on YouTube? Maybe I watched it on YouTube. Yeah. Oh, you gotta get a membership though. Yeah, so I don't know if you can just rent it, but I think it's on Amazon. But it was a good little flick. I enjoyed it. I think you could tell it didn't have a big budget, so whoever produced it, whoever directed it, they got some good actors, and they used what they had. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the budget was on it or anything, but I doubt it was very, very expensive because I mean it's not really much going on in it. As far as locations and stuff like that, even the special effects. I mean, the special effects that it's in this movie we could do. You know, I mean, they're good. They're good. They're good. I mean, they're not off-putting, but we could accomplish it. Maybe not some of the practical effects, but definitely some of the more CGI stuff. Um, any guys, any questions, or you guys want to move on to the next topic?
How many bulbs?
Hmm. If
You know I had to put
yeah,
it on you.
yeah. If I had to rate it, I would give it a solid. I give it I would give it a 2.5. A 2.5. I think it's. I don't. Yeah, I don't think it's groundbreaking. I don't think it's the most amazing movie. It's an average flick, but it's good. It's good. It
Is it
kept
a
my
background
interest.
movie?
Huh?
Is it background while you're working movie?
Yeah, I think you could work while watching this
Mm,
because visually there's not as much going on, so you can actually listen to it and still kind of and then every now and then look up and you can kind of still get the gist of what's happening. So yeah, I give it a solid 2.5. Some of the scenes were a little awkward with some of the acting, so I wouldn't give it a 3. I would take points away for that. Like some of the things they jump to conclusions to, or they adapt to it quickly to certain situations, I think. But overall, the acting was actually pretty good. And the way it ends is pretty. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
mm.
So, but yeah, solid 2.5. Solid. I think it's generally an average film, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. You know, I don't think it's a below average film. You know.
Alright, well, if it's average, I might put it on if there's nothing else to
The reason why I
watch.
say it's average because I don't think it's like groundbreaking. It didn't do anything particularly new. It had a good premise, had a good little story. It was well written, well acted. But I don't think it's everybody's cup of tea. I think people people in this circle, I think, would enjoy it because we're into horror. Um, so I think we would like it. I don't think it's for everybody, but I enjoyed it. I think it was worth talking about. It's the type of film I like to see where people don't have a lot of money, but they have a good idea and they're being
Yeah.
creative and they have to move around. They have to adjust not having a big budget and do things that and still make it interesting. And I thought they accomplished that. It was interesting. It kept my interest. I didn't fall asleep on it. I didn't say, hey, well, I got bored with it. I just turned it off. It kept my interest. So yeah. But with that, guys, we're gonna move on. All right, so the next topic is going to be the new Riddick movie called Furia, Riddick 4 Furia, and this is Mutendo 83's topic. Now, this is an old article. It came out in February. I think I might have even read it. And we've known for some time that he's been working on a sequel. And in my opinion, this is Vin Diesel's best franchise. I know. What's it called? Fast and Furious has a lot of love. It's very extremely popular, but I'm far more interested in his Riddick stuff than I am Fast and Furious. Matter of fact, I'm not interested in. I've never seen. I think I've only seen one Fast and Furious movie. I think I only watched part of it, and that's the one with The Rock in it, and it was lame. It wasn't that good.
Question about that. Was
Mhm.
Tokyo Drift a Fast and Furious movie?
Yeah,
Because that's the
One.
only one I saw.
yeah.
And it's because it was in Tokyo. That's the only one I saw.
Yeah, I'm just not interested in those movies. I don't think they're very good movies.
Uh,
But his Riddick, every Riddick movie that's come out, I've loved every last single one of them. A lot of people didn't like the second one. I thought the second one was one of the best ones. I thought it expanded the universe really well. It was different. It was interesting. It was a different look, a different take than a lot of the sci-fi stuff that we've been getting usually. And overall, I just thought it was a solid film all around. I love the first one. The first one was amazing. There's another movie where you could tell they didn't really have a huge budget. Probably a larger budget than they have for Brooklyn 45, but they probably didn't have a huge budget. But still, they did really well uh, with that movie. And then the third film was kind of like a callback to the first film. It was a little bit more subdued, but I still really enjoyed it. It hit a lot of the same beats as the first one, but it also did some things differently. So I enjoyed that one too. I'm hoping the fourth one, when they kind of go all out, I'd like to see them expand the universe a little bit more. But he's going back home furious, so we're gonna see how that
Well,
plays
I
out.
think they're going to close it out with this one, but
Yeah, I think so.
yeah,
Yeah. We can
but
read a little bit of it. It says this year marks the 10th anniversary of the last time we saw Vin Diesel take on the role of Richard B. Riddick. And by the way, do you guys know what the B stands for in Richard B. Riddick?
I know he was in Kwame's video when Kwame was a rapper back in the 90s.
What does that have to do with his initial?
That's the only event, and he's a nerd. That's the only thing I know about Vin Diesel.
The B stands for Brian. Thank you very much. So Richard Brian Riddick in 2013's Riddick, undoubtedly one of the actor's most badass characters. I agree. Though there have been multiple teases, comments made by Diesel, and the release of concept art and storyboards for a few years now, the franchise's future has felt a little uncertain, until now anyway. It says, in February 2023, just as the world was all geared up after the release of the Fast X trailer, it was revealed that Diesel would soon be suiting up again as his iconic bounty hunter, as Riddick 4 Furia is actually happening. Though it's very early on in the process, there is actually quite a bit we know about the fourth installment in the franchise that was kicked off more than 20 years ago. Wow, that's crazy. With Pitch Black. Let's break it down now. So what is the Riddick 4 Furia release date? No release date has been announced for Riddick 4 Fury at this point, and there's a good chance we don't know any specifics about its premiere for some time, considering a number of factors.
But to be perfectly honest with you, that's how Riddick came out, though. A third movie, like it just dropped out of nowhere.
Yeah, it dropped out of nowhere. Yeah.
So
says, first, Diesel is currently in the early stages of promotion for the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and the aforementioned Fast X, which was slated to land in theaters on May 5th and May 19th, 2023, respectively. Secondly, there hasn't been any word on when exactly cameras will start rolling on the fourth Riddick movie. Taking both of those factors into consideration, we might not see the return of Richard B. Riddick until mid to late 2024 at the very earliest. So when Vin Diesel will return as Richard B. Riddick, of course. We read. The movie will follow Riddick as he returns to his home planet. We'll read that one. When the film was announced in February 2023, Variety announced that the fourth installment in the action sci-fi franchise will allow him as he finally returns to his homeworld of Furia. He fears it could have been left in ruins by the Necromongers, the group of religious fanatics who brought death and destruction wherever they went in 2004's The Chronicles of Riddick, and who later reluctantly included him in their ranks a decade later in Riddick. But that could be the least of his troubles, as he will soon discover a new threat, one that could wipe the Furian race from existence. Let's see. So we'll read, I think it was Richard Towie, is that what his name, who directs it? But it says, our legion of fans have demanded it for years, and now we're finally ready to honor their call to action with Riddick Furia. My collaboration with Vin and One Race has spanned 20 fruitful years. As together we've created 3 movies, 2 video games, an anime production, and motion comic for the internet. This new big screen event will see a return to Riddick's home world where we finally get to expose Riddick's genesis. So I guess it's going to be kind of like a backstory type thing too. I mean, they kind of talked about his backstory a little bit in the third film. Third and the second film. Diesel isn't the only major player in the franchise returning to the fourth movie, as Toei, who's a director who wrote and directed the first 3 theatrical releases, as well as the 2004 anime The Chronicles of Riddick Dark Fury, is set to make a comeback as well. When Deadline announced the movie, the outlet also revealed that Toei, whose other notable writing credits include The Fugitive, Waterworld, and G.I. Jane, will be writing the script and sitting in the director's chair once production got started. However, there is no word on whether or not Riddick 4 Fury will follow in the footsteps of his predecessor and earn an R rating. I think they need to just go ahead and get that R rating. Yeah, I think that's the mistake they're making with the Blade movie. I thought I heard a rumor that they are going to go ahead and make Blade rated R, but officially I think it's PG-13. That's a mistake, and I heard that movie was having a lot of issues as far as production. I won't read the rest, but I think because I don't think there's a lot of information out there. We just know that they're definitely working on it. And I think it's probably going to be his last installment too, because he's aged. He does not look like this anymore, and it's probably harder. It's probably harder for him to maintain that physique too. You know what I'm saying? So it's probably going to be his last foray with the character, which is fine by me. I've enjoyed the series throughout the last couple of decades. So Nintendo 83, since it was your topic, man, you wanted to say anything about it?
I'm just happy that he's getting back to it, because just like you, I'm not a fan of the fast movies at all. But how much ridiculous stuff can you do in a car? But I can suspend my imagination with space opera, basically. That's what it is.
Yeah, he's just a badass character. It's just a cool character. You know, we watched the second movie, didn't we, Carbon? We watched both. We watched Pitch Black and the second one, did?
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you think of them?
They're pretty good.
Yeah, I like them. I think they're little. There's just so much. They're just so different from the other sci-fi stuff that we've seen. In the last 30 years. And I like
Yeah,
the
he's like an
lore.
anti-hero. He's not like a pure hero. Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely anti-hero. But I like the lore. I like the look. Like the necromongers always look cool to me. The technology that they had was cool. It was a different take, man. I liked it. I wish it was more popular. I think there is some obviously it's popular that they're making the movies. But I remember the director said that he thought they spent a little bit too much money on that third movie. So I don't think it made quite as much as they probably would have liked to have made. But I prefer this Vin Diesel character than some of the other ones that I've seen over the years. This is probably one of my favorite sci-fi franchise, other than some of the big ones like Star Wars. Actually, Star Wars is dead to me, so I can't even count it. Old Star Wars is my favorite. I don't anything after Rogue One, which I'll give Disney, was actually pretty good. Anything after that, even The Mandalorian, they've squandered that now too. I don't consider it Star Wars. But any other points on this guy?
I'm just happy that I hope Carl Urban comes back, but I hear he's going to be busy with the Judge Dredd series. So
they got to bring it back because when you watch the third film, right? At the end, Riddick goes to like this window and he sees like this nebula or whatever, and then you hear Carl Urban's voice saying something like Underverse or something. He says something. I can't remember exactly what he says, but it's almost like Carl is going to, or Vodko was his name. Vodko is going to the Underverse, and it's probably going to become more like the Lord Marshal from the second film. That's what they were kind of hinting at. So he has to come back. He has to come back. All right. It's vital because I think he's the perfect foil for Riddick. You know.
Oh, the whole everything about that movie, even though it's dated now, it still feels good to watch. That's why I like Chronicles of Riddick.
I don't even see it as dated, man. I think it still looks good. I think it still holds up.
Now I got a question. Did you guys watch the comics and all that? Did y'all know about Riddick before the movie came out?
Riddick was an original character.
Well,
it didn't start off
original character. They started off with Pitch Black. Then they had
So when y'all went and watched Pitch Black, there's no comics. Y'all just went and watched Pitch Black from the very beginning. Introduced the character.
The first time I watched Pitch Black wasn't in the theater. I saw it on the Sci-Fi Channel. And I want to say it was released on TV first, and then it did well or something like that. I can't remember exactly.
No, it was a movie.
It was a movie. But I remember seeing it on the Sci-Fi Channel before I ever saw it in the theater.
When the Sci-Fi Channel was good,
yeah,
I might add.
Black.
Shout out to the Sci-Fi Channel in the 90s.
Yeah, don't you
Saturday morning anime.
Come on, man. TV's lame, bro. You do that.
Hey, I have to call it on the side. Some of it was good, and then Sharknado and stuff like that had to go.
Yeah, that was trash.
Tremors, Sharknado.
I actually like the Tremors show.
hey, I like Tremors 1 and 2. Other than that, nah.
Oh God, I hated Tremors.
Actually, I thought the third one was pretty good.
You guys are
the one where they start running around, getting by beetles.
I can't remember. I remember liking the first three. No, wait, hold on. Which one was the one with the ass blasters? Was that 2?
I think that was 3. 2 was when the guy Bert. 2 was when Guy Burt took over as the main character because Kevin Bacon and the other guy decided to get out the series.
And then the third one is when the other guy comes back. They got Fred Ward. He passed away recently.
Yeah, he passed away like 2 years ago.
Yeah, he came back in the third one, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yeah, in the third one they were like in South America or somewhere. But I remember liking the third one. I remember the first 3 were good. Anything after that, it's like, But I actually kind of liked the series. It could have been better, but I enjoyed it for the most part. Let's see. I'm trying to find out when this thing was released.
I believe that most series that we like growing up, they start off good, but eventually they just peter off.
Well, the talent
But
leaves. The talent leaves. You don't bring in the same team or a team that's
Mm-hmm.
similar. Yeah, you know. So, but if you get, or if it becomes like a low budget franchise, like a lot of the movies after the third one were just like straight to DVD, straight to VHS type stuff. So
Highlander.
yeah, you see what I'm saying? So
Plus,
Well,
I
they
think
think
I
it was
think
what
too. A lot of times, the creatives, the people who make it, people like you guys, the creatives, they'll get something started, right? And they'll say, okay, this is going to be it, and they know what makes a good story, and they'll apply that, right? And then what happened is, the money makers will come in and say, well, yeah, it's a good show, but if you guys do this and this and this, you could make more money off of it.
yeah,
And then what happens is they come with their agenda and they'll say, but you got to put something about this in here and put something about this in here. And little boys in Germany don't like it because you don't have a German character. And by the time they finish fucking with it, it's a mosh posh of something for everybody, but not enough to make any one group like it enough for it to continue.
that's a
That's
real
not true.
interesting
You
point.
can make it good though. Like
No,
look at the Spider-Man movie, man. They had inclusion of everybody. They made that movie good.
yeah, but that's
Yeah, I
but
guess
it's
it took
based
5
off,
years, but
but it's based off the popularity of the first one. You see what I'm
yeah, true.
saying? It's based off the popularity of the
like
first one, and it's still Miles' story. It's still pretty much Miles' story. So he had a lot of good supporting characters, and Uncle Dave made a good point. I can't remember whose video it was. I watched the video. It might have been, uh, I think his channel is called uh, something Thor. It's like he merged some Star Wars stuff with the word Thor. I just can't remember what it's called. But
like Thor Skywalker. I
Thor
think that's what you're
Skywalker.
talking about.
He made a good point. He said that you know, because he was talking about Star Wars, but you could also relate it to you could also relate it to Miles Morales and Across the Spider Verse or the Spider Verse series. But what he did was he took He-Man as an example. He was like, He-Man had I think 2 seasons, right? And when they were making the toys, you know, they were making like almost $1 billion, like $500 million on selling He-Man toys. That's how popular it was, right? And He-Man was supposed to get a third season, but when they saw it, what they saw was 20% of the toy sales girls were buying it. So that's why they made She-Ra. So the third season of He-Man was She-Ra, and they made 2 seasons of that. But then when they did that, the sales for the toys fell off because they forgot what their core
same thing with
audience was.
Thundercats.
Yeah, they forgot what their core audience was.
Same
Look,
thing with
there's a
Thundercats.
segment of girls who are gonna like that stuff, but it's primarily it's called He-Man. It's primarily so they got greedy. They thought, okay, if we did this, the boys are also gonna go buy She-Ra stuff, and it didn't work out that way. And I think they might have that problem with Gwen Stacy because you know she's supposed to be kind of get her own spin-off movie, but they don't realize. Look, you know, it's Miles. He's the center of it. It's a male audience. People want to see Miles succeed and get the girl. You know what I'm saying? They want to see him get the girl, so that's why that's part of it. She's a supporting, even though she had a major role, she's a
Yeah, I have
supporting.
something to say too.
Huh?
Yep.
What they could do is just make a popularity list and see who the most popular character is, and then pick a side character off of that. Don't pick a random character.
Gwen
It doesn't work
Stacy
like
is
that,
popular.
Caleb.
Gwen Stacy is popular. The problem
Is she the
is,
most popular secondary character out of the entire movie? That's when you look at who is the most popular character.
Gwen Stacy is a popular
I
character.
don't it's a popular character, but
you're
no,
missing,
if they're
but
gonna
you're
make a
missing
spinoff, why not make a spinoff off those popular characters?
because you're missing the point. The point is that these are male fantasies. Yes, women go along with it because the men are in it. You see what I'm saying? The men aren't going to go for Gwen Stacy as much as they go for Miles.
Just wait, hold on, let me find something.
You see what
Just
I'm saying?
like the men didn't go as much for
She-Ra.
or when you look at Black Panther.
Yeah, Shuri or Rey. Because that was part of Disney's plan, and this is what the Thor Skywalker was saying. Was part of Disney's plan was they felt that Disney, even though it had a male audience, it was largely a female audience. You know, all the princesses and crap like that. So that's why they bought things like Marvel and Star Wars, because they wanted to expand the audience to more men. and it worked for Marvel up until recently. They started making crap, and they started putting, you know, women-led everything in it now. So that's dying off, right? And then don't even get me started on Star Wars, you know. And it's not that you can't have female lead characters that men won't watch. It's just you have to have a healthy balance, and most of it has to be men because that's what men are going to gravitate towards. It's our
Well,
stories. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know how. Like I could be wrong. Maybe the Gwen Stacy solo thing will do phenomenal. I doubt it. I doubt it because what make those movies work so well is that they were somewhat ensemble films and they were all supporting characters of Miles. Gwen by herself, I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna play out. I don't know how it's gonna play out. I'll be honest with you, I'm not gonna go see it. I mean, not because I have anything against Gwen. I like her as a character, but I like her as a character supporting Miles. You see what I'm saying? I don't really care to see a standalone Gwen movie. I know there's people out there who will. So we'll see. I mean, I could be wrong. We'll see how well it does. When they do it. Uh, but that it's a good point that you brought up, and because that Thor Skywalker guy kind of made a similar point, and that is when you get greedy like that, they should have been happy that okay, yeah, we got 20% girls buying this stuff, but they lost sight of what their core audience was. And when the boys got uninterested, they went from making almost 500 million to making only 5 billion. It's like a 98% drop or something like that. They said, so I was like, there you go. I mean, there you go. Now some of it, he said it might have been okay. Maybe it was, it was overdone. It was overplayed. Like they made too much toys or something. But they were like a lot of the newer toys they were making. There was no new cartoon to feature the new characters. So, why would they buy it? They don't. It's not being reflected in the
and
show. So
that's one thing I do like about the things that we like as adults, like the Riddicks and things like that. We don't need toys to sit there and buy into the franchise. We don't need all this and that. We just need just a hint of what's to come. Like the article you just read, it didn't really give us information further than that. Hey, it's coming out, and we're still interested. Versus one of my biggest beef with Cartoon Network. Like you remember that show, Symbiotic Titan?
Symbiotic Titan. Yeah, we
That
talked
show
about
was
that. Yeah.
great.
That was a great show. Yeah.
That was a great show. And just because they couldn't sell toys, they decided to cancel it.
Yeah. Well, that's a
Same
little
thing
different because it was targeted more towards
children, correct?
But the problem with that show was it wasn't young children. It was more like teens and preteens, and they don't buy toys as much.
Toys.
So
that show was too violent for young children.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Remember, it had a higher rating. It wasn't
nowadays,
for
bro.
everyone. Yeah. Because remember there was some controversy because remember when the girl that liked the robot but she didn't know it was a robot did that little one scene where she was twerking. There were people on Facebook and Twitter they're showing this to our kids, and I had to explain like, look, no, this was actually rated for a little bit of an older audience, and it came on later. It didn't come on like Saturday morning cartoon hour. It was more of like a Toonami type thing. So I was like, no, it was for a little bit of an older audience. So yeah.
And that's the thing I like about Jindy Tardy, what's his name, Tartaginski? He's been behind all the.
Yeah.
He basically has, to me, he's carried Cartoon Network for the last 30 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Samurai Jack, Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory, and this new cartoon Primal.
Yeah.
Well, I have.
That's not Adult Swim, not Cartoon Network, though. I don't know. It would have been on Adult Swim. Adult Swim and Cartoon. I mean, I guess they work together, but they're still technically two different.
They come on the same channel, Caleb.
Yeah.
If Adult Swim had a different channel, that would be different. But they come on the same exact channel.
I think they're different now. I think Adult Swim is his own thing now because remember the Cartoon Network almost kind of died, didn't it?
It almost did.
Yeah.
That's why they kept streaming with their freaking Teen Titans Go. That's why I almost died. They wouldn't take those shows.
His new animation too. I've only watched the first episode. I was kind of waiting to get more, and I'm gonna buy it on Amazon.
I'm gonna start watching that tomorrow.
Yeah, it's pretty good. The first episode was actually pretty good, so I'm gonna check that out. Might have to do a review on that.
And things like that. I mean, there's gonna be people go out there and buy statues and collectibles, of course, but they're not gonna carry out a show. Sometimes content is just content, and if it's good enough, it'll carry itself.
Yeah, because they're still they get to make money off things like commercials and affiliations and different things. People watch the channel because the show is on there, and they have other external, more passive ways to get income from it. That sometimes it just let a good show be a good show. The next one after it sell the toy, and then it does good for the channel in general. They talk about all the time. Some products are star products. Some products are dog products. Some products are things you just keep on shelf, and it just breaks even every time. But people come to the store and get it. Publix probably doesn't make that much money off of bread, but you better keep it on the shelf,
Yeah, yeah,
right? You make most of your money off the steak,
yeah.
but you better keep bread in there.
And
It's
like,
the same thing. Go ahead, Demetrius.
oh, I totally agree with you. Matter of fact, they can't. Well, you would be more familiar with this G-Flux, like Samurai Jack. Like what made them cancel it back in the day? I think it was
I don't know.
the guy who did the voice of Aku dying, right?
That's Mako. Yeah, he did pass away.
Yeah, he passed away, and
I don't know
people
why
are like,
that's. I don't know why
"Yo,"
that's canceled. I don't know why that's. I don't know if that's why they canceled it though.
and people are like, "Yo, like what's going on?" And that's last season, and they barely had Aku in it, and it was phenomenal.
Hmm.
And like things like that, you don't. There's some
It
characters
was
that
more
can
adult too. They targeted more towards adults.
because the audience had grown
Yeah,
up.
matured. Yeah.
I mean, and I mean, not to get off subject, like this is why I'm hoping for a more higher R rating for this next Riddick movie.
Yeah, I think they should keep it rated R because I mean that's the audience. The audience, like
They
the
should keep
thing
it
about
rated R.
the thing about the Riddick movies is I don't think they make a lot of money. They are passion projects, and Vin Diesel and David Towie said that these are our this is what we want to do. We do this other stuff to make money for this to do this. You see what I'm saying? So he'll do the Fast and Furious and stuff like that to do that.
And those movies, as much as I enjoy them, those movies are straight trash. I mean,
You
Like
enjoy
I don't
them?
even
Well,
enjoy
that's
them.
the first.
oh
How do you
yeah,
enjoy? Yeah, how do you enjoy them?
I,
Yeah, we had a question on that. Yeah.
I know people who are really
but
into cars like them, and they seem to have
but
some general appeal, and they make a lot of money. But I just can't watch them. I can't
Bro,
watch
let's
but
go play some Gran Turismo or something. We'll look some cars, bro.
them.
Come on now.
Dude, they'd come out better with a TV show with those cars on there, and they stop a bad guy every week. Then versus me sitting
dude.
That's
That's
like
out.
that's
Bro.
like
What
some
are
late
you talking about, dude?
1970s, early
Who
80s.
does that?
okay, David has a point. For those born before the 1990, man, we all remember Knight Rider. We didn't go to see Michael Knight save the day. We watched the show to watch see the car.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even. I thought the car was cool, but I didn't even get in the Knight Rider.
Cool, man. Night
Man,
Rider
it was
was
the music.
law. You were too young, man, when
Yeah,
it came
maybe.
out.
Yeah, maybe.
When it came out, man, I think I was probably in the fourth grade or something. It was God. Dude, we used to watch a show called Dukes of Hazzard, if y'all remember. Surprisingly, with the rebel flag on the car, everybody liked the show. Black kids, white kids, and they would jump and go fast and stuff, and we liked it. When Knight Rider came out, it canceled the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
It forced the show off the TV.
It was like the future version of it.
Right. Here's this car. It talks. It jumps. It goes fast. Man, before the iPhone watch, he could talk in his watch to his car. It drove itself, and we watched him. He fought a truck. He fought bad guys. He fought police. He fought a variety of different type of enemies in that car. But you went there every week to see that car. They could have Fast and Furious and. Okay, Fast and Furious in China this week. We're going to paratroop and throw the cars out of planes and take them to the moon and whatever. You might get a year out of it. But those movies, only the car. I'm surprised they get the money off it. I'm surprised they can make it pay for itself. But so obviously somebody watches it. So
Yeah, for me, it's just it always is, even as a kid, it came off as kind of like a little gimmicky to me. So even as a kid, I wanted a little bit more substance. You know what I'm saying? I thought the car looked cool. And then, by the way, this is a 3D animation that our very own Carbon X did. It was Knight Rider themed. for a single we did.
Loud shout out for
Yeah.
Carbon X. That boy
Yeah.
good.
I
That
turned
boy
down
good.
the audio just so we could talk, but
Carbon X, raise your hand.
but King 81 did the music for it. If you guys when you guys
Loud
check it
shout out
out,
to King 81 ain't here today, but
yeah,
he'll
on
be
our
right next
Lucent Oak
week.
Studios channels, yeah. But yeah, it just never really appealed to me. I liked how it looked. I thought I liked cool looking cars and cool looking planes and stuff like that. It just didn't appeal to me as much. So I just never really got into it. I've seen little clips and pieces of it here and there and stuff like that.
Blasphemy, y'all.
Yeah, it just didn't appeal.
Blasphemy.
Like I would need something a little more to it. Like, you know, this car can go to other dimensions or something like that. You know,
But there's
something like
actually
that.
a backstory to Knight Rider. He's a cop, right? Who was shot in the head, and they thought he was dead, and he looked one way. The organization that owned the Knight Rider car had him plastic surgery to look completely different, like another person. Changed his name, changed his identity, everything, and they put him in this car, right? And this foundation that he works for, they're a crime-fighting foundation that kind of like you can't corrupt them. So there's a Michael Knight kind of story that goes along with it. He's not just a dude that can drive a car. He wasn't a race car driver or anything, but he's a cop. He's a detective.
Yeah.
So he does his thing in the TV
You're having
show.
an echo.
But if you're young, I'm probably talking too loud. I'm in his mic. If you're young, yeah. If you're young, you wouldn't understand the detective element or part of it.
Yeah. Yeah,
And that's just my
I hear you. I hear you. But guys, we're gonna move on to the next subject, which is gonna be we're just gonna share our work. Unless you have something you want to talk about, Carbon X.
Not really.
Okay, let's share our work. So let's move on. Okay, so we're gonna move on to Lucent Oak Studios projects, what everybody's working on. First, we're gonna start with Mutundo 83. Oh yeah, by the way, Carbon X, we can't see your face.
I had to switch computers, remember?
Oh, okay, I thought you just wanted me to just show the stuff that I just showed. Or that I pulled up.
Something else I'm working on too.
Okay, alright, okay, cool. You gonna show some elf stuff?
I did not working though.
Okay, don't worry about it. Okay, so first we're gonna start off with
Almighty One,
Mutundo
the one
83.
above all.
And okay,
Oh,
so
God.
this is a drawing that he's working on, I believe, for a comic that you're doing.
It was a script. You remember we talked about it. A comic could be too much.
Oh, yeah, so you're
Too
doing a
much, but
comic
script.
strip. Have you ever heard of a
Yeah.
zine, like a comic zine, where it's like
No, I have not.
it's 5 pages. You tell a complete story in 5 pages, so it's like a little bit. It's almost like an extended comic strip. It's something I've been thinking about doing to get some ideas out there, but it doesn't take too long. You just got 5 pages. That's all you got to do. You tell a story from beginning to end. So that might be something you want to think about. It's a little bit longer than a strip, so you can put a little bit more in there. But tell us a little bit about what this is. I don't know if you want to.
This is my concept. This is my concept drawing for my main character. Zoom in on the hair, Brian, if you can.
Did you do this? What program did you do this in?
I did this in Critter, and that hair took it's like 6 hours.
Look good, though. Looks good.
Me and Orlando are partnering up on this too. I got a couple more characters in mind. I got what I've been working on. I got a character that's named Cleophas, and he's gonna look old. He's gonna look old, but he's gonna be young.
Like Kaylee.
The idea behind my story is basically it's called Your Friendly Neighborhood Villain, and it's basically satire on this world, how every time when you see a natural disaster or some type of calamity, and you see people trying to survive, you have one side of the coin, and we all know what that coin is. I'm not going to sit there and try to offend anybody, but we all know what that side of the coin. They'll be out there trying to survive. And then on the other side of the coin that we're on, we're looting. And we're just doing wrong when we're trying to survive also. So it's a play on the title of Spider-Man, of course, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and this is like Your Friendly Neighborhood Villain.
So the basic premise is that he's just kind of like the neighborhood asshole.
he's not even an asshole. He's just going to be doing stuff, and every time the media gets a hold of it, he's going to be like demonized. Like, and he's like, no, I'm just trying to survive and trying to do right. But everything I do, you see, I'm doing wrong. You know
Like
what I'm
you
saying?
steal bread out the grocery store to eat, something like that.
Or he's trying. It's things like that. Like I'm just trying to survive. I've been working on my writing game. I'm gonna sit there and next week I'm not gonna have a drawing up because I'm more than likely gonna be working on this one a lot further. But I'm gonna actually be the first time for really foraying into my writing. So I'm gonna have to have post that up so people who tune in out there, you'll be able to read the first script, as you want to
Well,
say.
don't
The
let people
first.
read the script. They're gonna get know what the story is. You write the story for
Yeah.
yourself. That way you have
I
something to
mean,
illustrate, and then they can
one
read it
thing I
when you
say
get
about
done with
that,
the
I agree with you. I do agree
yeah,
with you. But
yeah.
even though he can't write more than 2 pages these days, that's what George R. R. Martin does. You sit down and put out your first rough draft, and then things could change. I'm not
No,
going to
no,
say
no.
that
That's
this
not what
is.
I'm saying. I'm saying don't reveal that to everyone yet. Don't let
Oh,
people
okay.
read the
Well, that's
script.
fine. That's fine.
Yeah, don't let people read
That's
it yet.
fine.
Because if you let people read it when you come up with it, like, I already read this, you know. So you wanna save that. I mean, you could talk about your characters. You could talk about the premise, like
Yeah.
I
Oh
told you
well.
now.
Well, my main character is named Cornelius, and it's gonna have a lot of my personality. It's gonna,
What asshole?
you know,
That type of
asshole
personality.
with a heart of gold. Let's put it that way.
What a perfect name,
I like that. I
Cornelius,
like that. You need to make that one of the.
from the planet of the
No, I
apes.
like that. You
Cornelius.
need to make that one of like the subtitles, like the asshole with a heart of gold. That's funny. That's freaking funny. I like that.
I mean, he's
Definitely
gonna
add that.
and there's gonna be situations where he gets in arguments with people, and y'all know how good I am with cooking up insults on the fly.
Indeed, you are.
Like Swamp Donkey's gonna be in there prevent.
Shame on you.
And if y'all want to know the story behind Swamp
No, we don't
Donkey,
want to know. Not you. No, no,
it's
no.
going to be tune in, buy the book. It's going to be in the Lucent store. We're going to sell T-shirts that saying Swamp Donkey across it, the whole nine.
Donkey.
But
Just
shout
makes
out
you
to
say,
all I gotta say is shout out to Hyper King Media.
yeah, shout out to Hyper King. Shout out to Hyper King. But I will say that I think it's coming along well. Your drawing is definitely has improved. Still waiting on that Geltronics piece. Still waiting on that Thundercats piece. I mean, they look really good, but you just haven't finished it yet.
That is never getting done. G-Flux.
All right, so we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to
hold on.
What?
The hell? Let's see.
I sent another thing in general chat if you want to look at that.
I am going to put it in there, Carbon.
I was just trying to finish that one sculpture I did.
But hey, Carbon, y'all still haven't gotten your image from me and Orlando's other piece. So as soon as you get that out to me, I can go ahead and knock that out. I know y'all can't. It's been real. I'll see y'all next week. I got something to handle.
All right.
It looks good, Carbon. Elf shit.
all right.
All right, Matunda.
But it does look good.
Matunda.
All right,
y'all. Y'all have a good night. See y'all next week.
Yep.
Y'all didn't hear that little slick joke.
No, we didn't.
Bastard.
He heard it.
Okay, Carver, next. You're up next. We can't see you though, man.
You want to switch back to my other computer then, or what?
You sent me what you wanted to show, right?
Yeah.
I see his art.
Yeah, I see it too, but we can't see him. I just wanted to make sure we could see him. But yeah, we're looking at your the bust that you did, which is looking really
done.
good. Yeah, it's
well
looking
done.
really good. So tell us a little bit about what's going on here.
Oh, how about to say, since I bought the Toy series a while back, it's based off like a Pixar kind of character, Pixar style, and I feel like since I'm doing 3D and it's kind of it used to be. I don't think it's going to be the current style by the time I get really good.
After Across the Spider-Verse and this new Ninja Turtles movie come out,
I look at the style I should probably get acquainted with and to learn pretty well,
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
So I feel like I should make at least like one Pixar character, just to get all the way, kind of get that,
It's looking good. The anatomy is looking good. Your proportions are looking really good. So man, you've come a long way. Great job. So your next piece here is is the major for a Ghost in the Shell drum and bass album that we're working on, and it's looking pretty good,
That's
man.
gonna be dope.
Yeah, it's looking really
Yeah,
good.
I textured all in substance besides the jacket. Like the jacket, I tried to make a Marvel designer. Like her jacket is more complex than what I'm used to making, so
Yeah.
I ended up making it way more basic than I wanted to be. I wanted to add all the pockets and everything, and I was trying to do that, and I was like,
looks good though, man. Like I like the hair, the textures, and everything look good. The boots I think need a little work. They look a little plain.
I mean, that's just how her boots look. I mean,
It's
look
good.
when it changes
It's okay to look plain, but I think
that is how her boots
I
actually
think
look.
the shape of them, I think you could probably tailor a little bit. One thing too, the bevel on her stocking looking thing, the bevel on the top part, is it supposed to be that deep? The bevel of it? It just looks a little too beveled.
Yeah, I think I might have made it.
Yeah, you might want to
choice. I don't think I.
But everything else, man, it looks really good. I like the texture that you put on the bodysuit. The belt looks good, man. It looks good, man. It looks good, dude.
And I made like a little animation too, like a little breathing animation.
Yeah, I think I got that up next.
I know the Wimphys are perfect. I was like, I finally figured out a way to get Wimphys good. And once I saw it, I was like, man, this is good enough to render as a test. I was
here's the animation.
Like, I'll make it better for the actual animation. I learned how to do Wimphys, but I was like, this is good enough. Let me render this.
Yeah, it needs a little work, but it's getting
I'm about
there.
to say, dude, I just put the default settings. I didn't fix a single thing. I didn't set all the colliders, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot I can do.
It's getting there, though.
There's a lot I can do.
Yeah, it's getting there. Not bad, man.
Real good, man. Every once in a while, man, for you, what I would do is go back to that first project you did with us and put it beside your current one and look how much you've grown, man, and pat yourself on the back. Yeah. And then go on, get back to it and try to get a little bit better.
Yeah, because that looks good. It's looking good. Like you've come a long way.
You've come a long ways, man. Yeah. A long ways,
like
man.
Your anatomy, your anatomy is looking really good.
Brian's scared.
I think he still got a little before you scared though.
I mean, you definitely did me with 3D. I don't do 3D like that. I'm trying to get. I did a little bit of work today. I'm getting back into it.
I mean, where's your other controls? But you would have catch it pretty good because I mean, you have most of the basic stuff. You know, like anatomy, all that kind of form, all that kind of stuff, shading. You know the fundamentals. So once you learn the technical part of 3D, you can you do it pretty easily. Because I mean, for me, I had to learn both. You know.
Yeah, it's coming along really well, man. All right, lastly, we're going to, what I was going to do is I was going to show a sample clip of the Infinite Tribe album.
Oh, can I have a second?
Yeah.
Just want to show everybody that we're working on the robot.
Oh, the robot, the tank, yeah.
We got the tank robot that's going on. I've already got the lights on it, and I'm building the bottom shelf. We got a couple sketches, everyone, that we're going to let you see of what this is actually. I think he's going to pull them up.
Yeah, I'm doing some, like, quick sketches of the, what it's gonna look. I kind of like the bird looking one, man. But I know you said you don't want it to be that top heavy or whatever. This is like a
that'd be cool. Yeah,
owl creature that I'm working on. But
that's it for the tank project, though.
Yeah.
The idea, guys. Remember, this tank will be able to be remote controlled, shoot real rockets, and hopefully shoot down Orlando's drone.
King 81's drone. All right. All right, so yeah, I wanted to show a sample. I rendered it out today. It took about 2 hours to render. It's only like a minute long, but it's not completely done. There's some other things I still got to put into it. This time I'm going to let the audience hear the audio, so they'll get a little sample of what the
and nice it is, y'all. Nice it is.
Shout out to the benevolent Rashid Tillman. He did the music for the main tracks on this. King 81. Did the in-betweens. I'm going to try and use some of DJ Dave's tracks that he's always done for an intro, so everyone will kind of have touched this project, a little bit. But without further ado, here is the video. I'm going to go full screen for this one. You guys won't see it, but the audience can see it full screen. But here we go.
lot into it.
Yeah, I know. Well, the cool thing though is because I got my computer running up better, I can do things quicker. Now that I've updated my BIOS and I get all those stupid blue screens of death, so I can knock things out faster. But the reason why I really like this one because you had that IRL when those trumpets come and he goes like Super Saiyan, his hair turns gold. This is my favorite one so far. But audience, that's the album. One of the albums that we're working on that should be released. So shout out to Willis. Willis, give me a call, man, so we can talk about some marketing for this and maybe some merch. And I'm trying to wrap this album up by the end of this month. I really don't have that much more to go, but I still want to give myself the rest of the month to kind of really flesh everything out. And then after that, I'm gonna be working on shorts, hardcore, narrative shorts for the company, hardcore. Starting with the ninja story, elf story, and a little horror short that I'm gonna work on with my niece of all people.
Oh, that's gonna be classic.
Yeah, that's what that's why I'm doing some kind of designs for like this kind of like owl creature here or whatever. But that's pretty much it, guys. I think we went for about an hour. We've talked about all the different topics, and I guess we'll see everybody next Friday. So signing out with Carbon X, DJ Dave Darko, Demetrius or Muntendo83 who left prematurely, and
Megilla.
G-Flux the Great, G-Flux the Grand, G-Flux the Magnificent. See you guys next Friday.
Lucent Oak Studio.